Not too long ago, the New Orleans Pelicans looked like a team on the rise. With Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram leading the charge, backed by a solid supporting cast, the future seemed bright. Playoff hopes were sky high, expectations soared, and fans were ready for something special. But then, injuries happened. Season after season, the same story has played out. The talent is there, no doubt, but staying healthy has been the biggest challenge. Missed games, lost momentum, and a lack of chemistry have held this team back from making a real postseason push. So, where do they go from here? Do they hit the reset button and start over? Or is there still a chance this squad can finally put it all together? The clock is ticking, and the Pelicans have some big decisions ahead. Stay updated on all things Pelicans. Subscribe now and never miss a beat as this team fights to turn potential into success. So let's start with Zion. He is a game changer, absolutely. When the Pelicans landed Zion Williamson with the first overall pick in 2019, the hype was unreal. Zion wasn't just another top prospect. He was a jaw-dropping, rim-rattling, generational talent who had dominated at Duke in his short stint. New Orleans thought they had found their franchise cornerstone, a player who could not only carry them to the playoffs, but maybe even lead a deep run. And he wasn't alone. Enter Brandon Ingram, a silky smooth scorer and playmaker with star potential of his own. Together, they had the makings of an elite duo. Zion's insane athleticism and unstoppable finishing at the rim, paired with Ingram's effortless shooting and all-around offensive skill, that was a recipe for success. Add in solid role players like Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, and this squad looked built to compete in the loaded Western Conference. Expectations couldn't have been higher. Analysts had them locked in as a playoff team, and fans were buzzing, ready to see the Pelicans finally soar. But then, the injury bug struck again. Zion Williamson's career has been a frustrating mix of jaw-dropping highlights and brutal setbacks. Since his rookie year, injuries have constantly held him back, keeping him from reaching his true potential. It started with knee trouble, a torn meniscus that delayed his debut. Then came the foot issues, including a fractured right foot that wiped out his entire 2021-22 season. Hamstring tweaks, ankle sprains, you name it, he's dealt with it. And while he's been dominant when healthy, these constant stops and starts have made it nearly impossible for him to stay in rhythm. His rare mix of size, power, and explosiveness puts serious stress on his lower body, making durability a real concern. With every setback, the same question lingers. Can he stay healthy long enough to be the team cornerstone he was meant to be? For Pelicans, the talent is undeniable, but patience is running out. Will this squad ever get a real shot to prove what they can do? Or will injuries keep stealing the show in New Orleans? Now Zion Williamson is a beast when he's on the floor. His numbers speak for themselves. 24.6 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game, plus 2 All-Star nods. His mix of power, speed, and finesse makes him nearly unstoppable. The catch? Staying healthy has been his biggest challenge, and that's been a major roadblock for the Pelicans. Brandon Ingram knows the struggle too. The scoring machine has had his own share of injury troubles, missing chunks of this season. But when he plays, he delivers. 22.2 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 5.2 assists per game. His all-around game remains elite, but just like Zion, staying on the court consistently has been an issue.
He's carrying so much weight. He's so athletic. I think he's going to have to lose a little bit more weight. He jumps so high. That's a lot of pounds.
The Pelicans just can't seem to find their rhythm. Whether their stars are on the court or stuck on the sidelines, building chemistry has been a real struggle. Constant lineup changes and roster adjustments have made it nearly impossible to establish a true identity. Until their top players can stay healthy, unlocking their full potential remains a frustrating uphill battle.
Right now, he's in condition to get hurt.
And to make things even tougher, the Western Conference has only gotten more competitive. The Nuggets, Warriors, Suns, and Grizzlies continue to be powerhouses, while young squads like the Kings and Timberwolves are on the rise. With so many strong teams fighting for playoff spots, there's no room for mistakes. Right now, the Pelicans sit at 14th in the West, a far cry from where they hope to be. Injuries, inconsistency, and shaky team chemistry have plagued them all season.
We've always erred on the side of continuity, and our takeaway has always been, let's see this group healthy. I think we've seen it enough. There's teams that didn't make the playoffs.
The talent is there, but it's becoming clear that this roster isn't built to compete at the highest level. With no clear direction, the team feels stuck in the middle of the pack, unable to break through and join the West's elite. There's no sugarcoating it. The Pelicans have struggled to keep their core healthy, and patience is running thin. Zion and Ingram are undeniably talented, but neither has been able to stay on the court long enough to build the chemistry needed to win. Sitting near the bottom of the Western Conference, it's clear this roster isn't built to compete with the league's best. Trading Zion and Ingram would be a bold move, but it could jumpstart a much-needed rebuild. The team could stockpile draft picks, bring in young talent, and construct a roster focused on depth and durability. Instead of constantly hoping for better luck with injuries, the Pelicans could reset and build a team that's built to last. On the other hand, completely tearing it down means giving up on two of the most gifted players in the league. When healthy, Zion and Ingram have shown flashes of brilliance. Maybe the answer isn't to blow it up, but to tweak the supporting cast. A retooled roster with the right mix of role players, better depth, and a stronger emphasis on durability could unlock this team's potential. If the Pelicans can find the right complementary pieces and, most importantly, keep their stars on the floor, they might not need a full rebuild to become a serious contender. The clock is ticking, and the Pelicans have some tough decisions ahead. Do they finally break up an injury-prone core and start over? Or do they double down, make smart moves around Zion and Ingram, and hope their luck turns? Either way, the next few months will shape the team for years to come. Now, the Pelicans are at a major crossroads: rebuild or retool. A rebuild would mean tearing things down and starting fresh. Think trading Zion and Ingram and going full-on youth movement. This would likely lead to a few rough years of growing pains, focused on developing young talent and stacking up on draft picks. But the goal? Long-term success. Then there's retooling, an approach that keeps Zion and Ingram while making tweaks to push for a shot at the playoffs right now. This could mean trading for veterans, signing free agents, and squeezing the most out of the roster as is. But here's the catch. It all depends on keeping those star players healthy and hoping the team gels fast enough to take on the Western Conference giants. Both options have their upsides, but the reality is the clock's ticking. The NBA won't wait, and the West is only getting tougher. If the Pelicans don't make a move soon, the road ahead just gets harder. The Pelicans are at a major crossroads right now, with everything on the line. The squad's potential is still waiting to be unlocked, and with Zion and Ingram stepping into their prime years, the clock's ticking to make a real move. The big question is whether to bet on their stars staying healthy or shake things up and start fresh. This choice will define the franchise's future. With so much talent on hand, it's all about whether they can break free from their injury woes and finally live up to the hype, or if they'll stay stuck in the middle of the pack for years to come. The next few months are huge for the Pelicans. Their decisions will decide if they finally become a legit playoff contender or if they keep spinning their wheels. The Pelicans are at a huge crossroads in their franchise's journey. Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram are both crazy talented, but injuries have held them back from building the chemistry they need to truly compete in the tough Western Conference. Sitting in 14th place, it's crunch time for New Orleans. Is it time to hit the reset button and start over? Or can this core still pull it together and make a push? The pressure's on, and the next few months will decide the team's future. The Pelicans have to decide whether to tear it all down or make bold moves to fight for a playoff spot. Whatever direction they go in, they can't afford to settle for mediocrity if they want to unlock their true potential. Big decisions are on the horizon. What do you think the Pelicans should do? Rebuild or stick with their current core? They've got some tough decisions ahead, and it's going to be interesting to see where they head. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more NBA updates. Stay tuned for all the latest on the Pelicans and the rest of the league. Catch you next time.